This break is brought to you by Netflix. For a free 30-day trial, head over to netflix.com/GameBreakerTV. Now, the League of Legends LCS kicked off last Thursday, and there was an absolute ton of League of Legends action to talk about. Week 1 is now in the books, and here to tell us all about the results and everything that happened over the weekend is our very own Troy Blackburn. So, Troy, let's start with the North American events. How did the NA teams fare in Week 1?
Well, things kicked off Thursday with TSM versus CLG, and I have to say that my friends and I were definitely excited for the LCS to get started. We ended up with about a dozen of us in Ventrillo together watching the Thursday matches. And if Riot was looking to create a sports atmosphere like an NFL game day, they definitely pulled it off. We were all glued to our monitors watching and talking about the games. And if most of us didn't live hours across the country from each other, we probably would have wound up at somebody's house watching it all together. It was really a lot of fun, and we really enjoyed the one game format, and that kept everything fresh and exciting. And of course, if you lose a game starting out, you're not out of the running. There's still weeks ahead, so anything can happen from this point on. So let's get into the games. In the first game on Thursday, CLG really looked strong and seemed comfortable falling back into the good old split push strategy that CLG fans remember so well. TSM just didn't have any answers for CLG, and they took the match pretty convincingly. In the second game, Curse's jungler St. Vicious went absolutely beast mode on Xinjiao and really spearheaded the victory against Dignitas. Skara seemed to get especially picked on in the mid, and even a late Baron spell with a Gragas ultimate wasn't enough to keep Curse from rolling to the win. After that, CLG took out Good Game University. Despite GGU being in control early on with the first blood, it was a good match, and both AD carries played really well. Don't Mash Me was great on Graves and ended the game 9-1-7 with 384 CS, but it just wasn't enough to get them past Double Lift's 12 kills and CLG's experience in the late game. Thursday's final match saw TSM take out Vulcan Command, the team which we known as Team Fear until just last week when their sponsorship contract was sold by the Fear organization. That distraction seemed to take its toll on Vulcan as they dropped the match to TSM and ended the weekend 0-2. On Friday, the action didn't slow down at all. Curse and CLG kicked things off, and CLG seemed to lose all the momentum that they had from Thursday. Curse absolutely steamrolled this game. The entire Curse roster did well, but Voyboy and St. Vicious especially really brought it to their former team. Curse finished the weekend 3-0 and really looks to be the strongest overall team right now. After that, TSM continued to bounce back with a win over Dignitas. Curse continued to win with a victory over GGU, and Dignitas finally got its first win over Vulcan. And so your NA region LCS standings after week 1 are: in first place is Curse at 3-0. TSM Snapdragon is 2-1. CLG is 2-1. Team Dignitas is 1-2. Good Game University is 0-2. Vulcan is 0-2. And of course, Team Marn and Complexity have not yet played and will do so this upcoming week.
Goodness me, that is an absolute ton of action to be going along with there. So I gather the NA games are played on Thursday and Fridays. We've only actually been through 2 days out of a total 4 of the action here, because the European region plays on the Saturday and the Sunday. I hear they kicked off their regular season this past week just now as well. So, okay, deep breath, Troy. How did things shake out in the EU region?
Well, the EU kicked off with SK Gaming versus Fnatic, and it was a really close game. Came down to a good team fight by Fnatic where they took out 4 members of SK. They pushed into SK's base where they picked up the ace and then scored the win by taking out the Nexus. After that was the game that I have been waiting for all week long, and it was Gambit Gaming versus Evil Geniuses. And for those of you that have been out of the loop for a while, that's the former Moscow 5 team versus the former CLG EU team, 2 League of Legends powerhouses. The game went nearly 50 minutes, but it was all EG in a really dominant performance. EG's top laner Wicked's been catching a lot of flack recently about not playing too well, but he absolutely dominated Darien, who's known as a very aggressive top laner, and really helped lead the way for the victory that saw EG score 20 kills to Gambit's 3.
Wow.
Yeah, you heard that right. Gambit Gaming only had 3 kills in 50 minutes.
That is impressive.
From there, we saw Fnatic pick up another win against Giants Gaming. Giants looked strong early on, but they just couldn't secure the victory, and Fnatic came back to take the game with better team fight focus and more damage. Giants ran an 80 Kennen Sona bot lane comp that looked strong early on, but the AD Cannon just fell off soon after the laning phase was over. The final game on Saturday saw SK Gaming get its first win against Copenhagen Wolves in a game where Copenhagen just seemed outmatched from the beginning all the way to the end. Sunday kicked off with Gambit Gaming coming back strong against Fnatic on the back of a deadly misfortune played by Genja. Copenhagen Wolves then took another beating against Evil Geniuses despite scoring the first 2 kills of the game. And after that, we had a couple of surprises as Giants Gaming knocked off Gambit Gaming, running that AD Cannon again with a Zyra support this time. And then SK Gaming took down Evil Geniuses, who up until that point had looked pretty much unstoppable. So your standings for the EU region after week 1 are SK Gaming are 2-1, Evil Geniuses are 2-1, Fnatic is also 2-1, Giants Gaming ended up 1-1, Gambit Gaming falls to 1-2, and Copenhagen Wolves ends week 1 0-2. Still yet to play coming up this week will be against All Authority and Dragonborns as well.
Goodness me, that is a ton. There's a ton of stuff going on with League of Legends. This is really exciting stuff and a heck of a lot to keep up with. I particularly love it when you get surprises like the guys taking out Evil Geniuses when you didn't really expect them to. That's fantastic. So what have we got going forwards? You've got these other games to look forward to. What else is going on?
There's still a lot going on, and we've still got weeks of action coming up, but it's a whole lot of fun to watch this stuff, and it all continues this week, starting with North America again on Thursday, and we'll have a preview of all the upcoming matches for you Wednesday right here on Gamebreaker TV.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much for that, Troy. A ton of League of Legends action there, and do keep it tuned for future updates. And as always, guys, keep it locked and dialed to Gamebreaker TV for all your gaming needs.